Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction. Everton have just beaten Manchester United 1-0 at Old Trafford in one of the maddest games of football I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely just... I mean, I don't even know. For Everton to not win there in over 10 years and only ever to win there twice in the Premier League. For David Moyes to never win there as an Everton manager or any other manager, and to see that happen the way that unfolded tonight, that is how maybe you have to do it. That is maybe how you have to change things round. Just absolutely just crazy game of football. The whole team, or the whole squad that played tonight, bar one, we're amazing, to be fair. We started the game so well. We were on the front foot. We were pressing them high. We had a really high defensive line. The game plan was really good. We knew what we were trying to do. And then two moments. First of all, Seamus Coleman, his first Premier League start of the season after playing back-to-back games for Ireland twice in the space of 5 weeks. And he gets an injury within 9 minutes. Don't know what it is, possibly a hamstring. And he's out. And we've got to change the back line straight away with Brien coming on. And then, what was it, like three minutes later, one of the maddest things you'll ever see on a football pitch. One of the maddest things you'll ever see. Idrissa Gay wins the ball back, puts it to Michael Keane. Michael Keane doesn't respond, allowing Bruno to get a shot off. Idrissa Gay's furious, but we're not seeing any of this. We're not seeing any of this unfold. And all we see is Idrissa Gay getting shown a red card. And obviously, when you watch it back, obviously he's absolutely fuming at Michael Keane. But Michael Keane pushes him first. Let's not forget that. That leaves Idrissa Gay he throws a hand up. He's sent off instantly. He's still furious at Michael Keane. He doesn't even do you know what's mad? He barely looks at the referee. He gets the red card like he knew he was getting the red card, and then barely looks. He's absolutely furious at Jordan Pickford. He throws an arm at Jordan Pickford, I think, at one point. And he's just absolutely furious. And he's off, and it's just like, what on earth has just happened? I'll be honest, I don't think it was a red card. I think it was nothing, to be fair. I think it was handbags between two players. I think the rule is absolutely, for me, just daft. It's a coming together between two players. I've seen much worse on the pitch. I just think it's nothing. I wonder whether Seamus would have handled it better if he'd been on the pitch. But the referee couldn't wait to get his card out, to be honest, to send them off. But what I really liked about how he responded was David Moyes didn't change anything. He didn't scramble to take Grealish off or Ndiaye. I mean, he was never going to take Barry off, but he never took Ndiaye off straight away, or Grealish, the players who create something on the pitch, someone who gets hold of the ball, someone who can run and threaten, because it was massively important that we just stayed in the game. At that point, just rode the next few minutes out, and just adjusted to it. So I think that, from Moyes' point of view, I'm really glad that he didn't just make a spare of the minute sub. He just let the game settle, just to see what was going on. As I said, I don't think it was a red card. I really don't. I think the referee has been so quick. He hasn't even given himself... he didn't give himself a second to even think about it. He just pulled the red card out straight away. And I just thought it was absolutely nonsense. I thought Michael Keane played as much part in a Disagana Gay getting sent off as a Disagana Gay did. But that's just for that moment. A Disagana Gay's got to face his teammates now. He'll be suspended for 3 games for violent conduct, so basically giving him one more game before the AFCON. But that just is what it is. And also that's why it was so important that we got the win, actually, because towards the end of the game, people, I mean, I'm hoping, like, Grealish looked like he was holding himself, but I think he's just clever enough in that way. It was important that we didn't, after losing a player, it was important that we didn't lose any players to injuries, and it was important that we did get something out of it. But we just kept going, and that was the most important thing. And for the 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, sorry, we were the better team. We were the ones continuing to go forward. Manchester United looked like they didn't have a clue what to do. And the manager didn't look like he had a clue what to do. He didn't react. And, you know, for that, and that was really important for that spell, that he didn't react. We just kept doing what we were doing, but we were a man down, but they didn't react. And that was so important. And we just kept on going, kept on creating opportunities. And then, you know, a ball into, I think it might have been Garner, into Dewsbury Hall. Nice little movement in the body. The defender just sort of lays it into this path and he curls one. It's not top corner. Listen, the goalkeeper might have saw it late, whatever. Who cares? It goes in. Everton have got the lead, but more importantly, they've got the belief at that thing. I think we had the belief at that point that we could do something. And still, obviously, we didn't change the shape. And I thought Njai and Grealish at that point worked so hard defensively as well, just to get in there and win the ball back. And we picked our moments. It wasn't pretty, of course it wasn't pretty, but we got to the half and we'd done really, really well. It wasn't even like the Sunderland game where we got to like 30 minutes and then capitulated. We got to the half and we would fully deserve to be in the lead. Second half, we've come out. And of course, it's going to get tougher and tougher. And this is where we needed a game plan that worked. And it did work. Barry was immense. Absolutely immense in the air. Everything he won. I think he got the record tonight for the most headed wins in the Premier League, I think, so far this season. He was absolutely immense. We needed an outball, and he gave us an outball. And I've mentioned how many times that we've played with Beto, and we don't, when we need to go long, we don't have an outball. Well, Barry really gave us an outball tonight and put in a massive shift. And with those players doing their job, as I said, Grealish and Jai defensively doing their job, and everyone else just being tight, we just chipped away. 5 minutes by 5 minutes. Listen, did they have moments? Yes, they had moments. Obviously, Xerxes is a big, powerful lad. And the first header is it's a fantastic header. But Pickford's save is absolutely brilliant. Pickford makes a good save in the first half. He makes another good save early on in the second half when he pushes it wide. But this one was absolutely top draw. To get over there and to just claw it away when it looked like it was just nestling in the corner. Which, again, I think not only are they big moments in terms of like just saving the ball to stop the ball going the back of the net, but a big moment as in like, yes, these can't do anything. He's obviously made another save a little bit later on, which it was a little bit more routine, but he had to make it again. Xerxes again pulling off Tarkowski and making a good, putting a decent header in. Pickford's always going to save it. You'd like to think anyway. But I just thought we were clever. Moyes didn't react. Maybe some people might have wanted to see the subs come on, but I think what he understood was with the players we had available, he had to time those moments. And I think the first couple of subs, certainly Tim Irabunum, who I thought was really good when he came on, was a little unlucky not to play tonight. But Tim Irabunum coming on, I thought was fantastic. Straight in, just trying to keep the ball and be clever. Beto obviously came on as well. I think he lost the first ball that came to him. But there was a couple of moments later on where Beto actually did throw in some couple of decent tackles. And then obviously he's brought Alcaraz on and Dwight McNeil late on. Again, just little moments. Just win your battles. Dwight McNeil had a couple of moments where he just won his battle. Carlos Alcaraz just about stopping them. And through those subs, and obviously that was 5 subs, through those subs, not too much time added on as well, which thankfully, again, that's a mental thing, isn't it? You've worked so hard for 90 minutes. And for them to only throw 4 minutes, which I just thought, that wouldn't happen at Anfield, would it? And I didn't expect it to happen at Old Trafford, if I'm honest. We got through. Mentally, we just had to sort of withstand the first couple of minutes and then try and counter. They threw their goalkeeper up as well, and we couldn't make the most of that. But listen, it's just a fantastic win. It's just an absolute fantastic win. Back-to-back wins, and obviously such an amazing time to win a game as we head into a really important month. And to be where we are now on 18 points, we've gone above Liverpool. We're on the same points as Manchester United are. If we'd got a second goal, I think we would have gone above them. But it's just, if we can get something out of Saturday's game, which obviously it'll be very interesting to see what the bench looks like on Saturday, because obviously you imagine Seamus Coleman won't be involved. We know Idrissa Gana Gueye won't be involved. We've already got 2 goalkeepers on the bench tonight, so it'll be very interesting to see what the situation is on the bench. But that's a Saturday problem, isn't it? This is Monday. But I just think it's even... No, sometimes you have those moments in the season, and I was actually thinking it during the game, and I didn't really want to, like, you don't want to, like, sort of curse anything. But the Idrissa Gana Gueye moment reminded me of the Ronaldo moment in many ways. It reminded me of something big happening. Something that has changed. I'm not saying it's going to change the course of the season. Of course, it who knows? But sometimes things just happen in football that they're not necessarily goals or necessarily a win as such. But sometimes things happen in football. And I just thought that could be our moment. That could be a moment where we all look back at and go, wow, not only did we go to Old Trafford where we barely ever win, but we went to Old Trafford, lost our captain after 9 minutes, and then had a player sent off for slapping one of our players. And we go and win the game. Like, if we can't draw something from that as a fan base and as a team, I just heard Dewsbury Hall there talking about saying we want to go to places and win like that. And we were talking about this today, and it was like, why can't we go? Why can't we go to somewhere like that and win? Because you see other teams do it. But it's always us. We stop ourselves, don't we? We don't believe as a fan base because we never see the team believe. And I think today we really saw a team that believed it could win the game. And not only did it believe it could win the game, it genuinely, as the game was going on, you could see the belief rising, as in, we've got something here. We've got something to lose. And we don't want to lose this because, again, imagine the story. The story is going to be, we went down to 10 men. Our player hit one of our own players and we won the game at Old Trafford. Where Manchester United have won 4 games in a row. Like, that's mad. It's mad, but it's also brilliant. It's also absolutely brilliant. So, I mean, if we, like, this is to be enjoyed, isn't it? This is to be massively enjoyed. And I think there's so many positives out tonight. As I said, Barry up front was absolutely brilliant tonight, I thought. Early on, the way he linked the play, it was really, really good. But then when he was called upon, don't get me wrong, he wasn't, like, brilliant all the way through the game. He wasn't, like, there was moments where you just wanted him to be a little bit stronger. But winning every header and just making sure that he did his part. And then, listen, Dewsbury Hall, again, I thought he was good against Fulham, his best game. I thought tonight he did a different kind of job. And the same with Grealish and Ndiaye. I thought Grealish you could maybe have a go. You could look at him in the final third and say, maybe he could have done this or maybe he could have done that. But I looked at Grealish's defensive performance tonight and I thought he'd done really, really well. But he could have gone missing. He could have gone missing because no one expects him to do that job. But he really did get stuck in. And he really, really did. He really, really did want to. You could see him at the end. Even there was a moment in the game where the Moyes wanted to bring him off, and I think because he was holding his stomach, but he was just basically he was playing the game, wasn't he? He was playing the game. He was trying to kill a bit of time. He was trying to win some fouls, win some free kicks, make sure to take the sting. Because this is lad's a big game player. This lad's played in big football matches. He's not stupid. He knows how to take the sting out of a game of football. He knows how to kill it. He knows those moments that we've been crying out for years. Just take the sting. Get through this moment. You know, when there's a bit of an onslaught, when they're having chance after chance, and you just need the game to calm down for 2 seconds. That's what Grealish was clever at, and I thought him and Njai worked their asses off tonight. And it was actually a big call by the manager to actually take them off as well, because that's not necessarily what David Moyes would do. 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go at Old Trafford, and you are saying, I'm going to take my best 2 players off, even though they've worked their socks off, and I'm going to bring a couple of players on who are cold and mightn't give me exactly what that they've been giving me. So they were big moments. So, and I just thought everyone was really good. Let me just do this. Ricky Kane on the super chat. Thank you, Ricky, for the super chat. Says, what a result. Great reaction after the ridiculous red card, which shouldn't have been, and very unlike Guy, but we proud to be an Evertonian tonight. Proper dogs of war performance to get the 3 points. Ricky, thank you for the super chat, and I absolutely agree. Know what was mad about it though? The first part of the game, or even the first half, wasn't like dogs of war. The first part of the game was like proper good football, but obviously second half we dig deep, and every single one of those players dig deep. I mean, you think of like Jake O'Brien coming on. I thought Jake was really good when he came on. James Garner going back in midfield. I thought Garner was excellent again for Everton tonight. As I've said, I think you can't. Keane, I think, right. So first, let me just say this: the moment that he got sent off, I thought Keane didn't react well to it either. Keane, I just going to give the ball back to Keane, and Keane just sort of left it. Now, Keane might have been saying, why are you giving me the ball there in our own box? But then Keane pushes him, and that starts it off. And Idrissa was absolutely fuming. Let's get it right. He was absolutely fuming. And this wasn't just a case of him being angry. It was like, as I said, it was like he didn't even care he'd been sent off. He was absolutely fuming about it. But I thought Michael Keane, after that, reacted brilliantly. I will say that. I thought he reacted brilliantly. I thought he let it go. And he got into the game. And in the second half, there was that one moment where they were cry-arsing for a penalty. And it was actually a brilliant tackle by Michael Keane to get there. And if there was any contact, it was contact by Mbeumo on him. If we're honest, okay, he's going to try and kick the ball. But I thought Michael Keane reacted really, really well. And I'm surprised Keane, I think Dewsbury Hall's been given man of the match, but I'm surprised, I think Keane, maybe on another day you would have given it to Michael Keane, but maybe because of the whole thing of like giving him and interviewing him and having to maybe ask him and all that, Evan, you know, they've probably gone, it makes sense not to give him man of the match. But I thought Michael Keane, after that, reacted absolutely brilliantly. So heads didn't go down. Heads stayed up. We kept playing. And it's, as I said, it's an absolutely brilliant result. It's somewhere we never go. Somewhere we never ever go. Twice in the Premier League era. Like, there's people watching this who are not old enough to have seen those two wins. So it's another one of those moments. For Evertonians, and it's important. It's actually really important that David Moyes does try and tick off as many of these as he can. He's done Old Trafford now. He's obviously got Stamford Bridge as an Everton manager, but that won't be that will be what, 3 weeks? So he's got that. Emirates, he never won. Couple of draws there. Obviously, nothing at Anfield this year. But I do think it's really important that it's important that all the things that people like slag David Moyes off for, that we can, he obviously we want to tick off, and the players have got to do that for him. But as I said before, I thought by David Moyes not reacting and making a sub, because loads of managers would have made a sub there. They would have gone, oh no, we're down to 10 men. We lost our most important defensive midfielder. Like, think about that as well. We go to Old Trafford, a place where we don't win. We lose our most important defensive midfielder. And he just says, get on with it. And that is, it's not going to be a 2-hour reaction. I've got to do my player ratings as well. That reaction of not making that change is so important. So important. So, yeah. Let me just have a cup of tea. Let me just drink a bit of my cup of tea. But I do think it's important as well to promote David Moyes, but I also think it's massively important for those players as well that you do tick off those games. You do tick off those places as well. You know, again, you've got to have belief that you can win on those. Let's remember the last time we went and won at Old Trafford. On the Sunday, we were playing Arsenal at the Emirates, and we were in the last 10 minutes and we were losing 1-0, and Delafeu smashed one in to make it 1-1, and we played so well that day. And that's when the belief started coming. That's when the belief from the fans started to believe. We win at Old Trafford and then we go to the Emirates and get a draw and we come from behind. And that's when the belief from the players start to believe that we can go to places. Now, this is the first one, isn't it? Really, since David Moyes came back, that we've done that. This is the big, all right, we went to St. James's Park, I suppose. But this is the real big one, the first big one that we've done. And it's so important. And this group of players, I mean, funny enough, Seamus Coleman was in the team when we beat Manchester United the last time we beat them. But it's so important that this group of players has them. And I was saying before about Jack Grealish has been to these places before and has these wins. And Dewsbury Hall's probably been in the Chelsea team. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I imagine he's been in Chelsea when they've gone and maybe got big victories. But it's an important as a group that we go to these places. That's only our second away win of the season. But we've picked up now 7 points from the last 3 games, following on from the Spurs game. So that's a brilliant reaction when you think about it. If someone had said we were going to take 7 points out of those 3 games, I'm not sure I would have believed them as such. But I do. But we have, and I think now we can just keep looking upwards, get to the end of the year and hopefully be 25 plus points. And then I think that's when, I mean, it's going to be dead interesting again. I've seen someone in the comments saying something about Diblin. I think they were talking about Saturday. But it's going to be obviously interesting. And Jai, we know we're losing in Jai in 4 games. Adesina Gay is going to have 1 game. So that I mean, the manager's going to, if the manager had a plan, then the manager's going to have to put the plan in place on Saturday. And again, that's another thing, isn't it? It's so important that you get something out of these games when you lose players through red cards and through injuries. So the manager's going to have to put is going to have a plan. That's probably going to be Tinnerman and Burnham, let's be honest. Tinnerman, Burnham, James Garner and Kieran Dewsbury Hall. And he'll go back to playing Jake O'Brien at right back, I'd imagine. And maybe his thought was tonight that it was a good chance to play Seamus on the back of those 2 games. Because James Garner will be needed when Adesina Gay goes, and maybe he's starting to just look at that. There's no mail and roll, obviously, but I do expect mail and roll will be back for the time when Ajisagana Gay's going. But it's that right-hand side. And the more points we've got on the table, the more likelihood that the manager is going to be willing to take chances with team selections, with bringing subs on. Not like risking everything, by the way. Not like we saw that at the end of the season when we were safe. He didn't start suddenly playing Chimiti. He wanted to win games of football, but he might go, well, you know what, I can give Diblin some time in this game. So the next couple of games are actually massively important. If Everton can pick up, let's say, another 4 points, then he might. That's when the shackles will start to come off, I think, a little bit more. And hopefully Barry, again with his performance, I think Barry tonight has proved that he's the number one striker at Everton. He just has to add goals. Obviously tonight wasn't going to be the night he was going to score the goals after what happened. But I think just trust-wise, I think the manager will have looked at Barry tonight and gone, I can trust you. Because Beto is still just... Beto couldn't have done that job tonight. There's not a chance on earth. Whether you love Beto or don't love Beto, there's not a chance on earth Beto could have done that job tonight that Barry did. So, what a win. What a win. I just need another cup. It's me celebrational tea. Do you know what I mean? This is so celebrationary because this is the cup of tea that will wake me up in the middle of the night with me needing to go to the toilet. So that's how much I'm risking. It's even decaf. It's a decaffeinated tea, but this is the cup of tea that will wake me up in the middle of the night and say, you need to go to the toilet. So that's how much I am taking on. That's how much I'm celebrating with this cup of tea. Yeah. It's decaf. Decaf tea is the future, my friend. Decaf tea is the future. But I'm just looking at that second Jordan pick. Sorry, that first Jordan Pickford save. He's full stretch. Fingertips are... Oh, it's almost like I'm doing a watch along here, isn't it? I mean, wow. That's know what that save is, right? That's the kind of save that I think Jordan Pickford often gets criticised for not making. That's the kind of save where people go, oh, that's why Alisson's the best, because he makes those saves. The kind of saves that win you games of football. I think Pickford gets a lot of praise for not standard saves, but being very consistent. But I think that save tonight was the kind of save that wins you a game of football. And we don't see that all the time from Pickford. He's a very consistent goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. But we don't always see that kind of save from him. The kind of save that maybe the absolute elite have. There you go. It's mad that Roberto Martinez was in the Sky studio. Anyone from watching in America, Roberto Martinez was in the Sky studio. Glenn Watson says, Mark Party Flan, are you still looking over your shoulder? No, there's nothing to look over my shoulder for now, mate. We're all calm. We've done the job. I don't think I need to get my prostate checked. It's just as you get older, if you drink late night, especially caffeine triggers it in people. It's not always just drinking late at night. See, I could drink a non-alcoholic beer at 2 o'clock in the morning and it won't affect me, but it's caffeine. It's the caffeine. Listen, I might enjoy having my prostate checked. How do you know? What's that show? The Top? This Top? One of the finest Everton kits of all time. And you know what? It's dead baggy on me now. Really, really baggy on me. I was going to wear this other shirt. I'm going to show you this other shirt I was going to wear. Where is it? Where's my shirt gone? I was going to wear this. I need to wear this, but it's gone quite big on me. See, I was going to wear that, but then I thought, well, people were like, why are you wearing black and red? But look at that. I mean, that's just quality. Look at that. This is the one without the sponsor on it. So it's got no sponsor. And look, the line is unbroken. That's just quality. I've never worn that. Has it still got the... Yeah. Oh, it did have the tag on. The tag must have snapped. I was going to throw that on. What a shirt. No sponsor on. Unbroken stripe. Just looks tremendous. You can't see the Hummel. It just is just absolutely... No, it's not a potential giveaway whatsoever. They're my bloody shirts. I pay good money for them. Is Europa on? Yeah, if you want to say it's on. It's on. I know it's not red. I know it's not red. It's salmon pink, but you know what people are like? People are like, why are you wearing a red top? Black and red, mum. You've just been Man United. And I don't... Hang on. Have I got a blue shirt? I have actually got a blue shirt. Hang on. I know this isn't great telly, like, but... Like, this is absolute quality. I got this not that long ago. Classic football shirt sent me. I mean, this is quite apt, isn't it? Look at that. Ooh, baby. What? So what name and number should I get on the back of that? That needs a name and number, doesn't it? Quality. There you go. What name and number should I get on that? That's the question. No, it can't be Baines. Baines never played in that kit. Kale did, though, didn't he? Kale did. I was going to get Ferguson 9, but Kale's a good shout. Kale is probably... Yeah, Kale, yeah. No, Coleman didn't play in that shirt, did he? Come on, people. It's got to be accurate to the shirt. Yeah, I think Kale is probably the right answer. Don't think I've got any Kale shirts that fit me, that are like my ones. We've got a Kale shirt in the studio. We've got 2 Kale shirts. Neither of them fit me. Both of them are small. So yeah, Kale, yeah. No, I can't get Arteta because he's the manager of Arsenal. So yeah, I've also got the grey one. They sent me 2 shirts for doing something for them. And go. I think this is the Ferguson one. Wigan. I think that's the Ferguson one, the Wigan one. I think that should get Ferguson on the back, number 9. Wigan, when he punched Jimmy Bullard thing and all. He didn't punch Jimmy Bullard, but I'm not getting Leon Osman. To be fair, though, Leon Osman, I haven't got any tops on with Leon Osman, so that's fair. Yeah. Classic Football shirt sent me those two kits for doing something for them this season. And I've already got both shirts, and that's the most frustrating thing. I've already got both shirts. But I think, yeah, Kale on one and Dunk on the other would probably be. Heitinger didn't play for Everton when those shirts were out. Jesus. Educate yourselves, man. I've got a Landon Donovan one in the studio. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the new series, Wear, Frame, and Bin. We've been doing them all. I've been starting to do them, so I've got about 4 or 5 that have been recorded. I might let some of our Premier members come in and do it if they want, because I do think it's a good little series, because you never have the same like 3 ever. Well, we haven't so far. And people, if you come into our studio, we've just got all the shirts. We've got all the shirts. So, in fact, actually, hang on. Someone, Landon Donovan, one sec. So that's my Landon Donovan shirt signed to me. There you go. the wear frame and bin episodes, they're on YouTube. There's 2 on there already. There's one with Baz and there's one with Charlotte. And I filmed one. Chris Beasley one is coming on Sunday. And I'm going to film. Every time we have a guest comes in, I'm going to film with them. Which pink shirt? I don't know which pink shirt. Yeah, I'm going to get Ned to do it as well. I'm going to get Ned. I'm going to get Cam. I'm going to get as many instant memorabilia reaction. Absolutely right. People just want me to stay on, so I'm just staying on for a minute. I have to do, when I do my player ratings, I'll just be really quick doing my player ratings. I've actually got Sky on there as well, so I can see Martinez. Some of his time at Everton and his time at Wigan. So no, it was not a red card for me either. So no, I wouldn't get Beatty on any shirt, I'm afraid. I've got the khaki green shirt. I've got that with Seamus Coleman on the back in like an orange font. It's in the studio. So I've got loads of Bosch shirts in here. These are like my own shirts. Hang on, let me just show you a couple more. And these are not Everton ones either. Hang on. AC Milan, Marco van Basten. And I haven't wore this shirt. I need to wear it, but I haven't wore it yet. The great man himself, Ronaldo, R9. What else have I got? Hang on. Brazil, total 90, T90, R9. What a shirt. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. One more. T90, Juve. Zlatan. These are for next summer when I'm dead ripped. They're for next summer when I'm ripped. Anyway. I'll tell you what I have got. So I haven't got the Roma away, but I've got this, right? I've got this. So that looks like Roma, doesn't it? So this is Portland Timbers. It's about 5 years old. And it's never been worn. And it never fitted me. And I think it might fit me now. And it's absolute. The only thing that lets it down is the Adidas badge. If it was like the original Adidas badge, it would be absolutely amazing. But look, it's exactly the same as the Roma kit. Exactly the same. There you go. Also, did you know that kit, that Roma kit, someone's made a version of it where instead of green, it's like the Roma red, and they've made a version of it and you can buy it on the H-Gate. Why wouldn't I wear the Milan top? Why wouldn't I wear the Milan top? Just because it's red. But it's Milan. It's Milan. It doesn't matter. If it was like red, I'd get it. I don't wear anything red, but that's Milan. That's Milan. And also, R9 wore number 10 in his first year at Inter because Zamorano wore number 9. But then they took it off of Zamorano and he went mad about it. But because Nike took over, it was like, they were like, nah, mate, he's number 9 because he's R9. It's dead simple. So, there you go. But when it's a footy team, I don't wear red. But when it's a footy team, it doesn't matter, does it? I don't wear red ever. I don't. I never wear red. But, and I'll be honest with you, I've never even wore that shirt. I got it made and I've never worn it. But I would wear it. But I've never worn it. Dead simple. But I would because it's a team. It's a team who, obviously, Oh, red and black. Why do I need better picks behind me? What's wrong with these picks? These picks are amazing. I mean, like, literally, that's a one-off. That's like, there's like hardly ever any of them damn mice. In fact, there's 1,878 of them. So that's a collector's item. That's David Moyes in New York, which if you were there, you were there. If you weren't, you were square. When he said we needed 10 signings. Classic number 9, Tim Cahill. What's wrong with those pictures? Nothing's wrong with those pictures. Dead weird. Dark Arch, you're weird. If you can't wear a kit just because it's got a bit of red on. If it was a Liverpool kit, then fair enough. But it's a Milan kit. Yous are all weird. You're telling me that you can't wear a shirt that is red, that is Milan. It's not a red shirt, it's Milan. There's a difference. There's a difference. Like, I seen the PSG kit the other day in a shop, and it's Boss, it's the T90. Now, I wouldn't buy that because it's red. Fair play. But it's Milan. It's the red and black. It's Milan. Come on. You're just trying to make me say, hey, see Milan, when it's just Milan. Anyway. Right, I have jibber-jabbered on long enough. It's 5 to 11. We're all happy. We're all made up. Listen, I'm just going to go away for 5 minutes. Please come back in 5 minutes. And I'm best Ronaldo. Of course he's the best Ronaldo. Mate, the other Ronaldo doesn't even make my top 10 of footballers. He really doesn't. He does not make my top 10 of footballers. I've seen much better players than the other Ronaldo. Much better. He doesn't get anywhere near my top 10. There was a generation of players before this generation, and they were all amazing. Too fat, too kayak. Is that a trick question? Anyway. Right. I am going to go. I'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll continue this in 5 minutes. Stick around, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned. See you in a minute.